to our picks. Today we're going to be doing a most confident picks video for UFC Fight Night, Manel Kape versus Kyoji Horiguchi. Well, before we get into that, let's go over our most confident picks recently. That UFC 250 Freedom card was pretty exciting, pretty entertaining, I must say, and we were 3 for 3 on our most confident picks in that card. We had Mauricio Rufy as the most confident pick, Josh Halkett, and Sean O'Malley. So we were 3 for 3 on most confident picks for UFC 250 Freedom. A week before that one, on this Muhammad and Bonfim card, our most confident pick was Bryce Mitchell. He had an easy win there, just steamrolled through Luna in the grappling and was able to get the finish, last second submission there. So last 2 weeks, we've been 4 for 4. On the year, we are 15 and 4. So looking into this Manel Kape versus Horiguchi card, the first most confident pick on this one will be Michael Aswell facing Gaston Bolanos. Now, when I look at Michael Aswell, he's coming out of that 4-ounce fight club, Joshua Van's fight team with that patented volume striking. And he's been very active. He's had a tough fight against Luke Riley, lost by decision. He knocked out Lucas Almeida, who's a pretty known striker, stand-up. And Balaji Oki, that was a close decision. I thought he looked decent, throwing a lot of volume in that fight too. And yeah, he's been very active in the UFC. 3 fights since 2025. As for Gaston Bolanos, he lost by rear naked choke in his fight against Quang Lee, which was a year and a month ago. So not very active for Gaston Bolanos. And the way I see it, it looks like to me that Michael Aswell has been competing against better competition and looking better against that competition. As for Gaston Bolanos, the only real competition that he was really facing was Marcus McGee, which he really wasn't showing much there. He got knocked out in that fight. Now, he is a Muay Thai champion before going into UFC, and he's going to be facing a lot of volume, a lot of toughness and forward pressure from Michael Aswell. And I just think that Michael Aswell is most likely going to outwork with his pressure and his volume in this fight. Gaston Bolanos, he doesn't throw the most in his fights, 3.28, so not a bad strikes per minute landed. He does absorb far less than Michael Aswell, but I mean, Aswell brings the fight to you. Look at that, 7.79 strikes land per minute. I'm not so sure if Bolanos will be able to withstand or look good taking that many strikes from Aswell. I know he was only absorbed 2.4, but he's going to be defending a lot of volume and having his last fight just over a year. There may be some rust there that we may see in the fight, so not too sure how ready he will be with Michael Aswell, who's been just putting out fights left and right the past year and a half. So I'm going to be taking Michael Aswell minus 400. Is not the best line, but I think potentially he could be a parlay piece in your plays for this week. Give me Aswell. And this one, I can see by decision, possibly even a late knockout, possibly. Gaston Bolanos, he's been knocked out by McGee, who's just leaps and bounds levels above him. So we can't take too much from that one. Finished quick by Quang Lee. And one of the other things here is Michael Aswell, he can mix in the grappling. That's something that Gaston Bolanos has struggled with in the past. I'm sure that he's been working on that and getting better at the takedown defense, but that's also another wrinkle that Michael Aswell can put together in this fight as well. So I think I'm looking to see a lot of output from Michael Aswell, and that's going to be the first most confident pick for UFC Fight Night, Kape versus Horiguchi. And now for my second most confident pick, we'll be looking into this fight right here. Christian Rodriguez, C-Rod versus the Hurricane, Hyder Amil, my Filipino brethren. Now, this is a good matchup. This is good matchmaking. I think this is going to be a pretty entertaining fight. Both these fighters aren't going to be shying away from a fight. We could see some brawling exchanges, and we have seen Hyder Amil look good in some brawling exchanges. I know his last fight, short notice of Jamal Emmers, might have not been the best Hyder Amil that we've seen. And before that one, we saw he got finished quick by a rising prospect in Jose Delgado. And he's had a 3-win win streak before that 2-loss skid. And same thing with Christian Rodriguez, 2-loss skid, decisions. I mean, this is the prospect killer king right here, C-Rod. He's Austin Bashi, Isaac Dolgarian, Isaac Dolgarian actually tried to win in that fight. And obviously we all know Raul Rosas Jr. and Cameron Simon. So he's been finishing, this is the prospect killer. He's just been coming up short against these veterans and Mel Costa, Andre Fili, some guys who've been in the ringer in this UFC, facing decent and better competition. And these guys aren't so much prospects, but he has looked good even though in his losses. A split decision against Andre Fili. I know there's some 30-27s, but he had some good exchanges in that fight. And at parts of the rounds, it looked like he was winning up until he got rocked in that first round. Yeah, I mean, he really brought out the fight to Fili in his last fight. I thought he had a chance to win. That was a very winnable fight, but he just came up short and Fili was able to not get damaged too much in that fight, even though he was getting hit. And the Mel Costa fight, I think he should have got into more of the grappling more in that fight. But yeah, just Mel Costa was able to get on the cards. This fight, I think C-Rod is going to be the more technical striker. He has the more well-rounded game. And honestly, skill for skill, I think he's overall the better MMA fighter than Hyder Amil. Hyder Amil, he's more ready to put up a fight, and he likes to get in the pocket, have those brawling exchanges. I think that he does get sloppy though, and he likes to push the pace. And I think the reason why he gets sloppy at times is because he is using up a lot of energy in his striking and his forward pressure, trying to get into those brawling exchanges. And so he fatigues himself in the striking. And because he does that, he gets sloppy at times and can get caught. And I think C-Rod will be able to counter that. I think the technical striking will show up in this fight. He doesn't have to chase Hyder Amil to get his offense going. So I think that'll play into C-Rod's skill set. And this could end up being a close fight. I mean, Hyder Amil, he's a dog, so he can really push the pace. And even when he's fatigued, Hyder Amil does a good job of continuing to fight through his fatigue. So he's not just going to gas out and then TKO from getting gassed out. But for C-Rod, he's going to have the upper hand, I believe, in the cardio. So Christian Rodriguez's striking will stay more technical throughout the fight, and his fatigue won't make him too sloppy, not as much as Hyder Amil. So I'm going with C-Rod here. I can see via decision and possibly a late stoppage as well if C-Rod continues to pour it on into a tired Hyder Amil if it gets to that. So that's going to be my breakdown for this most confident picks. Now, that's Michael Aswell and Christian Rodriguez. Now, just to see, the minus 165 went down to minus 170. So some people are betting some C-Rod action. If you were to put, let's see, what would that be? So right now you could still get minus 101 if you were to put a 2-leg parlay with them. So initially I thought that maybe throughout the week, C-Rod's price, you might be able to get a better price than minus 170 throughout the week. We'll see. but it seems like more people are being hip to C-Rod's skill set against this Hyder Amil. So yeah, we'll see how that week goes. See if you can get a better price on Christian Rodriguez. But yeah, those are my most confident picks. As for some underdogs, I mean, Kyoji Horiguchi, Manel Kape. I still think, even though Manel Kape has gotten so much better since their last fight, I think Kyoji Horiguchi is just a different style than Manel Kape has seen from his most recent fights. Manel Kape has been looking good in his most recent fights, getting finishes, but nobody moves. I mean, Aswell, Mabayev, Bruno Silva, Brandon Royval. Nobody moves like Kyoji Horiguchi. This guy is just in and out, very hard to hit. So we'll see how this fight goes. I think Horiguchi is a very live dog. We'll see if he makes it to our official bets this week. Just to be short, possibly Ion Cutelaba. I'm not sure yet. He's facing Navajo Stirling, but Cutelaba is always live to hit as an underdog. This one's interesting. Vinicius Oliveira versus André Fili. I just think this line is way too wide. I think Vinicius Oliveira should be like a -150 to -170 favorite personally. I think there is some value on André Fili even coming off of short notice. This is a short notice fight for André Fili as a replacement. So, and this is also Vinicius Oliveira moving up a division in weight to featherweight, I believe. Yeah, bantamweight to featherweight. They're going to be fighting at featherweight. So I think André Fili, potential live dog. Ion Cutelaba, always a live dog against a Navajo Stirling who hasn't faced the best fighters yet. And we'll see how he gets tested against Cutelaba. Kyoji Horiguchi, I mean, he beat Manel Kape a long time ago, but you can't take too much from that fight. That was in a ring, not in an octagon. So a lot has changed, and Manel Kape has gotten a lot better since their last fight. So those are some potential underdogs. Hop into our Discord if you want to see our official underdog plays. And I mean, for this year so far, we've been 15-4 on our confident picks and giggle locks. And yeah, this week, Christian Rodriguez, Michael Aswell are my most confident picks. And yeah, let's get this to if C-Rod and Michael Aswell both hit, we'll increase our most confident pick streak to 6 wins in a row, 6 picks in a row. Hopefully C-Rod and Aswell hit. And our Pro Picks members usually get our most confident picks right when we post them. So if you want to get into that, you can join our Discord. And yeah, that's going to be it for UFC Fight Night, Kape versus Horiguchi, our most confident picks. And stay tuned for more fights to come. This is Gerard, and I'm out.